Hi all. So the update for today, we have Uncle Monk is passing. It's been going on for a couple of days now. He's in his sister's house over here. In the big house. So he's got a lot of monks surrounding him. And we don't know how long it's going to be. Could be days, could be weeks. We know that he's got very old, obviously, and his body's shutting down. So we think his kidneys is shutting down. So he's going to like a little bit of a delirium. And in Thailand, they don't seem to do any like assisted help, which is a bit, you know, how do you say it to be politically correct? The Buddhists, well, it's not necessarily Buddhist. I mean, the way Thais interpret Buddhism, in many cases, not in all cases, they don't want to help the person along with death because it can be a moral problem, you know what I mean? So even like basic things like morphine, to put somebody to sleep, is not available. Now, in the UK, when my grandmother passed away, the nurses came and they give her an injection of morphine and she didn't wake up. So it's just one of those things where you think the person should have the right to no pain at the end of life, be it through morphine or whatever similar medication can be given. And in this case, he hasn't got any. So the doctor has given him some meds for the kidney, but it's to kind of like help clear the fluids. And he has things for sleep, like diazepam. But Uncle Monk has never been able to sleep for years. And I find this a lot with beings that have done a lot of entheogenic work, or they've done a lot of meditation and things like this. They can suffer from insomnia, have trouble sleeping. So now Uncle Monk is Damo's dad's brother. So he's over here at the moment. So what do you got, Paul? So he's going through a bit of time. His brother's dying, Uncle Monk. Just over there. Now, I don't want to show you in because it's obviously a private ceremony and it won't be on the vlog, but I will talk a little bit more about it. So yeah, he suffered from insomnia, and I don't think the betel nut helped because he was chewing the betel nut. If you don't know, betel nut comes from like a palm, and it's the experience is a little bit like speed or something. A video of me trying some with Uncle Monk actually. He's chewing that betel nut, and apparently that betel nut's hard on your kidneys, but at this ripe age, like he's in his 80s, you know, who cares what's to blame? Like, you know, obviously it's smoking, he got cancer, like, his kidneys packed in, like he's 80 odd years old, so it doesn't really matter, like, what it was, because you always hear that, don't you? Oh, if he'd just stopped smoking, you know, he could have lived another, he died at 93, if he'd just stopped smoking he could have lived another 3 years and made it to 96, like 3 years just in bed, unable to do anything. I mean, at that age you don't give a shit, you know, so let him have the betel nut, if you know what I mean. But the betel nut, I think, was heavy on his kidneys, and it may have hastened the process. And then, what else? Oh yeah, so Uncle Monk's story. He wasn't always a monk. In his younger days, he was a proper party animal, apparently, and not a very nice guy. And he was a big drinker. You know, he didn't do anything that bad. I don't think he was like violent or anything like that, but he was just drunk all the time, and he was a real pain. From what I hear, this is the anecdotes of what I hear. And but then he had a conversion, And it must have been 40 odd years ago he had the conversion. I think he was in his 40s when he had the conversion, and he decided to become the monk. So I'll have a little walk over this way because we'll see Damo, I think. So he decided to become the monk, and then he became, over these 40 years, actually Uncle Monk is a very high monk. He's quite a famous monk in Thailand as well. You wouldn't know it from watching these vlogs because we've never really talked about it or mentioned it, but people come from all around Thailand to see him, and he's the head monk. So now we have loads of monks here at the moment praying for him. So I want a speedy transition. As I've said, there isn't much going on, end of life care here. So I mean, I feel like there should be more done. And for anybody that knows Aldous Huxley, the author, the writer, he had a very particular way to go. And I won't spill the beans here, but I prepared my death for in that particular way. So I have made preparations to go the same way Aldous Huxley went, if it's not kind of a spontaneous thing. Death for me is a very natural process. It is part of life. It is something one can practice with certain ceremonies or ways and means. And so that's the way I see it. But I wish we could give him something to ease the pain. Let's just see how Damo is. So how long do we think?
Not sure.
We don't know yet.
Yesterday I feel like him going. Yeah, but because I come 5 a.m. in the morning yesterday, and then he like breathing difficult, so I put the oxygen for him.
Yeah.
So I put the oxygen for him there. So because his oxygen is only 80%, so I put the oxygen for him, and his blood pressure very low.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that we do like apologize for like a ceremony.
For the past.
Yeah, that we apologize for him, what we've been doing to him or something like that. It's like that because we think we thought that he gonna pass away yesterday, but today he seems better. But his action is like he don't know what's going on. He's still unconscious เหรอเขาเรียกอะไร
Yeah, not fully conscious.
Yeah, not fully conscious like that. So in this past 3 days we have the monk 4, 5, 6 months come to pray for him. So today will be the second night, and tomorrow be the third night.
So you guys get together and you apologize for everything.
Yes. It's like if somebody going to die, we apologize what we've been like, what we done to him, what we talk about him, something like it's, we don't have to have karma together like that, so he can go to the next life.
Yeah.
And don't worry about anything like that. But today he seems better. But I think it's like he's had like a brain damage.
I think because for those people that don't know Uncle Monk, at the end of this vlog, I'll put a vlog of Uncle Monk giving me the metal nut. Yeah, so they know what we're talking about.
And it's like his kidney fail.
Yeah.
It's like what I call last stage. And his brain damaged. And he only remembers some part of his past life, like when he get drunk.
Yeah. How old was he when he stopped drinking?
I think it's about like 40 or
Yeah, that's
something.
what I thought.
Yeah, 40, and then he stopped drinking, and then he become a monk.
And you've got a nice t-shirt on. I'm dead inside. That's a nice t-shirt
Nice one.
for the occasion.
Thailand only.
Let's see here. new life and old life. So yeah, there's an update from Damo. You could hear it clearly. There was a fan on, so you can see we got the buffalo in the garden, and we got the monk under here. Family are up there, they're kind of laughing and joking and stuff. So it's a strange ambience, atmosphere on the farm. I compare it to when Hugo was born. You know, like with Damo ready to burst and Hugo ready to be born. It's a lot like that. It's a lot like birth. There's a coming life, there's anticipation, there is worry, you know, about the pain. There is a passing, a crossing. Damo just said, you know, he's passing. Whereas with the birth of the baby, there's a coming, a passing over. And so it's a weird anticipation. You know, you kind of want to get it over with, the birth, the death, for whatever reason it is. And so it's just a strange atmosphere. It's the beauty of death and birth. It makes me reflect on, you know, who's next for the passing. Probably Damo's parents. You know, something could happen to us as well, you never know. Eventually it'll be our time. It'll be our day where people sit around and the monks sit around and you're moving into the void. You're passing over. And so you can have some gratitude for the life as it is today, the beauty, one's health, one's ability to breathe and walk and smile and see things and still have youth and vitality to live and enjoy life and do fun stuff and be with loved ones, all the pleasures of life, of course. It brings gratitude towards that, because obviously that'll end in this incarnation until the next one, which is our belief systems, and so yeah, it puts things into perspective. Tish is at school at the moment. We've got Hugo over there, but I think, you know, we are blessed. We're blessed to be, you know, Uncle Monkey's 80 odd. He's had a good life. He's done what he needed to do in this life. I'm 30, going on 36, and I feel I've done a lot what I wanted to do. I'd say I'd done about 95% of what I want to do. There's still a few things. Like I want to travel with my kids. I want to go to India with my kids, with my boys. There's a few things that I want to do. You know, there's still a little bit more travel there. The house is done, car's done, all that stuff's done, the worldly stuff is done, and then my party days are done. I've had my music lounge, my jazz lounge, and done all that crazy stuff. So there's just a few things left for this incarnation that I want to do, which is good, because I still feel like at my age I've got a lot of time to do it. Got a lot of time, and if I didn't do it, well, I'm 95% done anyway, to be honest with you guys. I feel like big crow up there. I feel like I've done it, and Uncle Monk, let's hope that he also feels the same. I think he did. I think he partied his younger days away, and then he spent his older days like kind of living a life of luxury, because when you're a monk they really look after you, yeah. I'm going to play a video at the end of this. I'm going to put that in for you. A little video of me with Uncle Monk trying the betel nut. It's probably a little bit poorly edited, and I guess I was younger, but I felt like I was a lot younger then. I feel like I've aged a lot on the farm, so it was a different time. And but I'll put it at the end of this vlog so you can watch it and you can see Uncle Monk, and I tried the betel nut as well, so I'll cut that in for you. But he's passing. I will update on the main vlog when he passes. We're not going to be filming it or anything like that. It's just a private situation. But Damo did say that he's kind of regressed to a childlike state, and he keeps talking a lot about the past. And this, I explained to Damo when we discussed it, this could be, you know, when people get hit by a car or they go through a near-death experience, they say, my whole life flashed before my eyes. Well, the Egyptians and similar, could have been the Egyptians, it could have been the Aztecs, I think it was the Egyptians. But yeah, it was the Egyptians. They talked about the weighing of the scales, that at death we go through a process of looking back and reevaluating our life. Our life flashes before our eyes, and we can see the good deeds that we did and the bad deeds that we did, and they would be weighed on the scales. In this case, in a Buddhist tradition, to decide what would be the reincarnation. So I don't believe that that's the case exactly, but I do think that there is a rewind of our incarnation, and we get to look back and we get to make amends for all the things that we may have done wrong. Nobody's perfect, we've all done things wrong. I've done things wrong, I've made many mistakes. I've done things that I regret in the past, still do things that I regret. And we all do. None of us are perfect, even those that think they are enlightened and they're completely holy, phony holy, as Ram Dass used to say. No, we've all done stuff, and we get a chance to kind of go back and exercise self-forgiveness perhaps for those things as we reevaluate our life. We learn, you know, you start off quite unconscious and you learn, you come up in consciousness, but you still make mistakes, because our mistakes, what are they? They're our dark side, and you need to have a dark side. If you don't have a dark side, you can't have a light side. It's the opposite side to the yin and the yang. Self-acceptance for me is not about being benevolent. It's not about being holy and I'm great and I'm morally and ethically superior. That's not, I don't even think that's what a monk is about being. It's about the recognition of the malevolence and the dark side and the shadow, as Jung would refer to it as. It's recognition of the shadow, recognition of I'm a good person, but I'm not a good person. I have positive, constructive, holy thoughts, and I have terrible, perverted, unholy thoughts. All of these are aspects of self, and you can't know yourself until you know both sides of yourself, the good, the light and the dark. Now, of course, the real self exists independently of that. It is a non-dual. There is no duality, no up, down, rich, poor, black, white, here, there, past, future. The true self is non-dual. But as it expresses itself in form, it needs to become dual. How else can it live? How else can you experience anything without past and future? You have no time. You need that duality. Me and you, we need the two bodies. We need the here and there. Or you can't experience space. To experience space and time and rich, poor, and old, young, and black, white, and hot, cold, these dualities, to experience them, you require a dualistic universe, albeit an illusion. It's a dualistic universe which we're born into, and then we merge with the non-dual again, and then born into again, reincarnation this way. Or this is how I experience it shamanically, or with the entheogens. So it's not a sad time. I wouldn't say it's a sad time. For some people, like, they may be upset or sad, or like, oh, it's a sad time. When your belief system on death has changed so much that you don't see it as an ultimate loss, but actually something quite beautiful as birth, you know. If the universe is infinite and it lasts forever and it can't die and it is just infinite and never ending, then what does it lack? What does the universe lack that we have? And that's limitation. So how does the universe achieve limitation? Well, it incarnates as us. So our existence allows the universe to die, you know. So without us, or life, the universe doesn't die. It just is. And so death is a blessing. And so we don't see it as a bad thing. We see it as like this is a very natural part of life. It's a transition. Sometimes on this channel I can talk about death quite a bit, and some people will respond, oh, it's morbid, or, you know, why do you talk about it so much? And And that's because the fear is still there. Once the fear is dissolved, which is dissolved through the knowing of who you really are, then there's no fear there. There's nothing to fear. You think of death as you think of birth. It is benign in many ways. So death has come. Death has come to the farm. And sorry, I've been looking for that. The dogs have been eating it. Death has come to the farm, and it gives us space to ponder our own mortality, our own existence, our own eventual death, and therefore in the shadow of that be grateful for our life and our being. So I hope you guys are feeling grateful today. I hope you're all well. Enjoy the incarnation, enjoy the moments, enjoy the day that you've been given. I know I'll be enjoying mine today in the peace and the serenity of this garden, doing little bits on the garden. I'm going to leave you with Uncle Monk's video, and stay well, everybody.
นี่แน่ลูกตรงเรียนอ้อยลูกคม
There's the leaf here. So it's this leaf here, mixed with this one here is what he's eating. This grows locally on a tree close by. It is Thai tradition for the old ones in the village. The old ones all have this, so.
อันนี้มันอันนี้ก็ต้องใส่อันนี้อีกด้วยครับ
You said the leaf must have this on it. Some kind of cutting device.
นี่ก็ผสมอันนี้อีก
ครับ
โอ้ได้เสีย
แล้วเนาะ That one has gone off, so we can't use that one. The leaf is with a paste like this, white paste on top.
อันนี้ถ้าเขามีฟันเขาก็กินเลย
If you have teeth, you can eat it straight away.
ถ้ามีฟันกินเลย
กินเลย
ถ้าไม่มีฟันก็นี่
If you don't have teeth, you have to mush it up like this.
ไม่มีฟันก็ต้อง
ครับ
ต้องใส่อย่างนี้แล้วก็ตำ
This is the inside of the fruit here.
นี่
It's like a little orange. He's chopped it up and now he's mashing it
เอา
up.
มานี่ก็ต้องตำอย่างนี้
So that's the leaf and the paste together that he's mashing up.
ร้านนี้ก็ทางนี้นี่
Oh. He pushes out and then he just eats that one. It's
เมื่อ
red.
กินแต่นักกระแยงแหละครบ
แต่มันเป็นหมักมันเป็นไอปูนขาวทำไมมันแดง
เป็นครึ่งขาวเขาเคี่ยวไปมันกระแยง
Yeah, ทำไมมันแดงอะ
ก็มันถูกฉลกของมัน
So can
I think it make with that one is like
could I try to make one?
ลองใส่อยากกินเนาะอยากกินดู
Yeah, can I try? You asking?
ขอแก
Okay.
ทำเป็นไหมนะ
ทำเป็นไหม
มาครับทำเป็นนะครับ
จำได้ใช่ไหม
ทำได้
เอานี่อันนี้เอาแต่นี่ออก
อันนี้ออกก่อนนะครับ
ไง
นี่
แค่นี้เองถ้ามีฟันเขาไม่ได้เอาออกหมดนะครับ ถ้ามีฟันก็แค่นี้เลย
If you have teeth you need to take out a lot
Yes.
you need to take skin out a lot you can chew
มีฟันกับข้าวเคี่ยวได้ฟันมี
So I can eat this. Don't eat the leaf.
ก็อัน
You
นี้
want to try the whole thing
Yeah.
เขาอยากลองใส่เหมือนที่ลูกโป่งใส่
ใครมาเลย นิดเดียว
Is the taste is will be a little
กัด
bit
มาก็กัดปากนะไอ้ปากมา
A little bit bitter.
yeah put together.
So like
เป
this?
รี้ยวเลย
Wow.
Bitter, right?
That's a lot of flavour.
แล้วเขากินทำไมลูกทงเขากิน
ก็กินไปครับมันติดมันก็กินไปมันก็หอยไป
มันกลืนน้ำ
ถ้าให้ทิ้ง
เขาให้ทิ้งมาเลยแล้วนี่จะพูด everything มันกลืนน้ำมันไม่
มัน
ใช่
ก็เกือบแดงเลย
ว่าแล้วมันไม่ได้กลืนน้ำ
บ้วนปากออก
So it tastes a little bit like bitter toothpaste. Is my mouth red or no?
No. Come on. Oh, a little bit.
Is it my
Not
tongue?
too much. Yeah.
So I feel like a rush of blood to the head.
Really?
Yeah. What effect does it have usually?
I don't know. ถ้ากลืนนี่เป็นอะไรไหมลูกทง
กลืนก็ไม่เข้ามาให้กลืนหรอก
ทำไมกลืนนะ
ท่านครับหลวงตาอุ้ยเนี่ยกินกลืนจนแกเป็นไอ้ทองใหญ่
อ๋อเขาไม่ให้กลืน I don't know.
พอวันที่สอง
And
ที่
I
สาม
feel quite hot.
นึกได้เอง
Like a blood
แล้ววัน
comes to
ที่
my
สอง
face.
ที่สาม
I don't know. I have to ask my dad.
แล้วก็ยืนกันแล้วก็โไม่ได้กลืนได้เนี่ยกลืนบ่ออ้อยมาเพลฟมา
ถ้าเราไม่ได้จะไปส่งที่สนามบิน
ฮะ
ไปส่งแค่สนามบิน
ก็นั่นแหละ
Okay, I think we're done.
เราอยากลองก็เห็นหลวงตากินอยากลองตั้งนาน
All right then.
ได้
Come back up.
เออ
So just as a follow-up there, actually you're not supposed to swallow that stuff. And I swallowed like 2 swallows of it. And so just to kind of give a review on the reaction, I could feel in the body some slight vasoconstriction. I can actually still feel it now in the throat. And my blood pressure started to rise. I could feel like the blood coming to my head. So it definitely did have an effect. I guess it's a little bit like tobacco, but kind of a stimulant. Definitely does something to the blood pressure, but it doesn't have that edge like nicotine, like that kind of tobacco. There's no kind of relaxing sensation in the body or anything like that. I guess it must just be a habit. The old people seem to like it. They don't really have any reason why. I've asked numerous times on why they may like it. And just to let you know, the plant is growing just here. So you will see it there in the tree. It's got the little orange balls here. So this is the one that they use.
You are the love. I can't show you how to start to find your way. I like the old-fashioned way. Give me that sweet love, those warm-up kisses. Oh, well, you are the love. Life has a quirky way. Circle breaks, we find a new day. And strangers we know become husbands. Every dance has its pace, interlaced, intertwined. Now you can't save time. Run along, kiss. You two will be more than pairs one day. You are the love. I can't show you how to start to find your way. I like the old-fashioned way. Give me that sweet